Well, we finally have a trailer for one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I think it's safe to say that Joker 2 will be one of the more controversial and polarizing films of 2024. The real question is, did this trailer do anything to convince the naysayers? Or will this movie receive the same amount of manufactured hate that the original did? Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Before I get into the trailer, I desperately need to address a few things as it pertains to the conversations being had around this film.
And here we go.
First of all, I see a lot of people suggesting that if you have a problem, like I do, with the business practices of WB, that you should not support this film because that would mean that you are not truly down for the cause. No one has been more critical of WB than me, and they deserve every ounce of that criticism. But the only cause that I'm down for, and the only thing I really care about when it comes to me having this channel, is that period, point blank, I just want better films.
Because it's all part of the plan.
And I don't give a where they're coming from, I just want to be entertained, period. I never understood the concept of boycotting films created by a studio because of the studio, even when those films have nothing to do with the actual issue at hand. Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, and their efforts have nothing to do with the stupid decisions made by WB. Just like Matt Reeves had nothing to do with Warner Brothers' stupid decisions. This is like when Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega Simps were calling for people to boycott the Thanksgiving film because Skyglass produced it. I'm sorry, but what exactly does Eli Roth and his film have to do with Melissa Barrera getting fired?
Not a damn thing!
And this whole thing around Joker is just the same energy to me. I understand that this company we've come to despise at times will benefit from us supporting Joker 2. But look at it this way. Won't supporting a film like this send a message to WB that we want more films like it? Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be receptive to that message, because let's face it, they rarely are. But again, I don't understand punishing Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix's vision because you hate WB. That logic just doesn't make any sense to me. If you genuinely have no interest in Joker 2, and it just doesn't look interesting to you at all, then fine, I would understand that. But can we please save the organized hate campaigns for something else? And by the way, how did the organized hate campaigns work when people tried to use them on the first film? You know, when people were saying that that movie would inspire crazy people to shoot up theaters, or whatever the they were trying to say? Oh, that's right, nothing actually happened, and that movie went on to gross over $1 billion.
Get what you deserve!
We need to stop judging films, especially films that are actually trying to give us something different, based on our own one-sided ideologies. As for the trailer itself, I am 100% on board with everything that I've seen so far. I know a lot of people have taken issue with the fact that this movie has a supposed musical element to it. I understand it's a bit of an unconventional approach, and you're talking to someone who really doesn't like musicals to begin with, outside of a handful. But if you are surprised with this film incorporating music in this way, then I fear you were not paying attention with the original film.
So I strongly suggest that you wake the up.
It's very clearly insinuated that Arthur hears music in his head after he shoots those guys in the subway. And that moment had a freeing effect on him, and he proceeded to dance to the music in his head in the bathroom scene in the original film. What is the line in the new trailer? Music has a way of completing us. That's the whole idea behind it, I think. And the same thing is going to be happening in Joker 2, based on what we've seen already in the trailer. With the visuals switching back and forth between Joker and Harley in the streets, that would be real life, and them on a fake variety show, and I'm assuming that would be in their head. It's not really that much of a stretch to include music in this film, if you stop and think about it and put your hate to the side. Not just that, but based on what I see in the trailer, it is entirely possible that Harley herself is completely made up in his head.
What is real? How do you define real?
She does the same handgun gesture to her head that he did to his neighbor in the first film, who he also ended up having a fictional relationship with, by the way. I think it's entirely possible that he could have manifested Harley to use as some form of escape because he currently finds himself in Arkham. Or maybe it's just a coping mechanism because he does feel alone after losing the only person he was ever truly close with, that being his mother. Now, I don't know if I'm 100% on board with that concept. I'm just kind of theorizing at the moment, but would it be unlike Arthur based on what we know for him to create a personality that idolizes himself? To me, just the fact that I can theorize about the trailer is already a good sign when it comes to the final product that will end up being Joker 2. As far as the visuals go, to quote Martin Scorsese, this looks like cinema to me. Much like the first film, you get the sense that this is intended to be a lot more than your typical formulaic comic book movie.
Damn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
You can already see it in the trailer based on the camera work, on the imagery, and how the characters are portrayed. This is not going to be your average everyday bullshit. There's a good chance that people are going to call this movie pretentious and say that it's not comic book accurate. And I would say to those people, I don't really give a shit, and I just want a good movie. We have to stop trying to strip away creative freedom from artists who actually have something to say, even when it's using iconic characters. To me, the essence of the Joker is still there clearly, and that's all that really matters. As long as you have that, I say let Todd Phillips cook. This is an unconventional approach to this character. I get it, so is the first film. It's an unconventional approach as a film in general. But I'd rather have that than the same old bullshit from the comic book movie genre over and over again. Joker 2 will be the next evolution of this version of the character that Todd Phillips created. Clearly he felt like he had more to say on the subject, and to me he's built up enough goodwill to where I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and give this movie a chance. How often do we get the opportunity to have a two-part character analysis on an iconic villain? Villains who are typically used as nothing more than plot devices to move the story along and ultimately be killed.
If he dies, he dies.
To me, this is unprecedented stuff and exactly what the comic book movie genre needs right now. I thought the Joker 2 trailer was awesome. I thought it revealed just enough without revealing too much. And I'm more intrigued at this point to see it, which is exactly what a trailer is supposed to do.
Y'all be cool. Right on.